economy to change, for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. It's the only way it's going to happen. No one's going to do it for you. Nobody. They're going to do it for themselves. They're not going to do it for you. But it starts there. And you have to remind yourself of it. Among all these negative influences that you go home to, you have to remind yourself of it. I would be that guy. If I moved in with you for a year, I would be that guy. To remind you every single hour of every single day of every single week for those 12 months, you're either on track or you're off track. If you're off track, get back on track to platinum. I promise you, here's the thing. I promise you, platinum, at the platinum level, that's where, for most people in this room, everything changes. Everything changes. Money is just a medium of exchange between goods and services. For those people that think money doesn't matter. If I put you on Gilligan's Island with $5 gazillion, it doesn't, you're still eating banana cream pies. Money just gives you more options. It grants you freedom. I didn't want to be the guy that sat in Sacramento, California and thought, I wonder what Christmas in Australia looks like. And then go, oh, what's the point in wondering? It'll never be me. That wasn't me. That wasn't ever me. I want to be the guy someday that says, I wonder what Christmas in Australia looks like, and then picked up the phone, called his travel agent, says, book me 2 tickets to Sydney tonight, Christmas Eve, and then not even pack a bag. You know why? I'm pretty sure they got stores.
Yep.
And then you just figure it out, right? You don't know what the weather is, you just go and you buy what you need. That is living, is it not? Why should we be relegated to our cities? Why should we be relegated to our states? Why should we even be relegated to our countries? I want to be relegated to planet Earth. I have no interest whatsoever on being on that one-way trip to Mars. Got no interest in that. Okay, but I wanted the boundaries of my life. I want to be just the planet Earth, to be able to go and experience whatever, whenever. Everybody has that opportunity. It's the same for each and every one of us. But you gotta keep doing what's called the checkup from the neck up. Why is it that some people achieve and others don't? The same opportunity, the same time, 2 people, one achieves, one does not. What's the difference? The 6 inches between the ears. That's the difference. You see, the only thing that really makes people different is how they perceive things. Barring some physical limitations, mental disabilities, the only thing that differentiates us from one another is how we perceive things. One person, 2 people looking at the exact same opportunity at the exact same time. One goes, I'm going to get rich. And the other goes, that's illegal. I don't understand it. We got people out there that go, yeah, YEVO International, that's one of those Ponzi schemes. Peter Castleman needs to build an illegal Ponzi scheme. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? He's running low on funds. Let's give this a try. The internal dialogue that you have makes all the difference in the world. You've seen the cartoon, right? You got the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. And which one's chirping louder? For some of you, the devil's chirping louder. Right? You got Glum over here. You're never going to make it. We're all going to die. For others, it's the angel. You can do whatever you want. I've been telling, Renee and I have been telling our son Elias his entire life, you can do whatever you want, son. You can become whatever you want. Name it. You got to work towards it. But there are no limitations. You can do and become whatever it is you want. That should be the internal dialogue that you have. Your words are just a projection of your thoughts. The things that you say in your own environment are a projection of what you think about yourself and what you think about others and what you think about the world. To listen to some of you, is sad. Not the ones in this room. But the things that we say kills me. Whoever came up with the saying when you're parting from a friend, right? You've met a friend and you're saying goodbye. Hey, don't work too hard. Where the hell did that come from? Has anybody ever gotten anywhere in life not working too hard? We got to change that vernacular. When you're saying goodbye to your friend, Bob, Susie, good to see you. Work your ass off. I learned a long time ago from one of my mentors that you will become the combined average of the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. Let me repeat, you will become the combined average of the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. So you better start taking inventory of your relationships. Who are these 5? What do they say? What are their influences? Are they positive people? Are they negative people? Are they people that give you energy, like Kirby was talking about? Are they people that take energy from you? What is their impact? Because it is affecting you. If you hang out with 5 people that are homeless, and those are your, you stay in that park all day long playing checkers. And those are the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. You spend enough time with those 5, and eventually, you're probably going to make your bed on that bench. Flip side of that coin, if the 5 people with whom you spend the most time are millionaires, now you may or may not become a millionaire yourself. But I guarantee you, you'll pick up a nugget or 2 from them, those 5 influences, that will absolutely change your financial life. It's got to happen. If you hang out with 5 people that cuss all the time, that's all they do is swear, what happens to you? You start swearing. You hang out with 5 people that will not tolerate a potty mouth, what happens to you? You clean it up. You've got to understand what those influences do to you. They're important. Take inventory of those, and I'm not saying necessarily divorce yourself of some of those relationships, but I'm saying you may want to limit your exposure. Just a little bit. Limit your exposure. You can love on them for, an hour or 2 and just go, I've had my fill. See you next month. Very important stuff. Everything about you should be designed around positive, strong, building messages. Even eventually, as you become a presenter up here, and many of you will, you get to pick your walk-on music. I pick a song because I like the melody, and I've been using the same song that they played as I walked out. I've been using that same song for the last 5 or 6 years. It's from a local band here in San Diego, which is befitting. They're called Switchfoot. And the name of the song is Dare You to Move. Just the title of it, Dare You to Move. And the chorus goes, dare you to move. Dare you to lift yourself up off the floor. Like today has never happened before. I love those lyrics. I dare you to move. Anybody can be successful. Success is nothing more than a decision. It's a decision. And then you execute around that decision. You start moving stuff out of your way that do not serve you. And you'll find that when you make a decision about something, whatever it is, and you're resolute in that decision, literally obstacles that used to exist in front of you, they just start moving. And if they don't move, you move them. Because they do not serve you. I was taught by my first mentor, there are 3 things that you have to have. You have to have these 3 to become successful. A burning desire to change your current condition. It's got to burn, this desire. There's a lot of people in the world, again, along with don't work too hard, that would be nice. What do you do next for the summer? We're going to Hawaii. Well, that would be nice. Seriously? That would be nice. That's a defeatist position already. But you got to have a burning desire to change your current condition. It's got to burn. I've had people come up to me in network marketing and go, that burning desire you talk about, Jason, I've got that burning desire. I'm like, Mark, you've been in this company for 3 years, you sponsored 2 people. You might have a burning sensation, it is not desired. You should probably go to the doctor and get an ointment to clear up that burning. Be honest. At least be honest and truthful with yourself. Be honest. Start there. If you want to be platinum, but you don't have the work ethic maybe to be platinum, because here comes number 3. That was number 3. Number 2, after burning desire, is you've got to be teachable. And number 3 is you have to have a strong work ethic. If you want to be platinum, but you know you don't have the strong work ethic, just go ahead. I'd love to be platinum, but I'm really silver material. At least you're honest. But the people that come up to me and go, remember my name, you will see me at the top. They're the first ones to disappear. I don't know if they're trying to convince me or themselves.
It's true.
So be honest in what you're prepared to go and do, what you're prepared to give up. Many of you know this. I'm not going to get into great detail on the rainbow vacuum story because we'll be here for another hour. But I went door to door selling rainbow vacuum cleaners. And the thing is, I had a trainer, and I bought one of these machines for $1,500 in a 600 square foot, 1-bedroom apartment. Getting into the story now. And I gave the guy, because you get the shampoo attachment, in order to get the shampoo attachment for free, which was like $350, you had to give the guy 4 leads. He didn't have to sell them, he just had to go do them.
Right.
And so I gave him 4 leads to get my shampoo attachment. The guy went and did the 4 leads, and he came back with my shampoo attachment like a week later, and I said, how'd you do? And he said, I sold all 4. I said, huh? He said, yeah, I'd have given you $100 a machine just for riding with me. I said, you would have given me $400 just to ride along with you? He said, yeah. I said, 1 second. And I came back with a list of 10 more names. I said, we're riding. And we went out and visited these 10 leads, and we sold 8 machines. We actually sold 10 out of 10, but 2 of them were broke, and they couldn't finance a jujube. Their credit was so bad. So we dropped 8 machines. We literally dropped 8 machines in the house. So there was the original 4 that I gave him, and then 8 more that we rode on together. And then I got wings. I was on my own. He was ready for me to go out and do I had to go run all the leads for all these machines that we drop now so they can get their free shampoo attachment. You know how many machines I sold out of my first 14 presentations? You said 14. Nada. Where's my Mexican contingency? Nada. 14. 14. Spanglish. Nothing. I sold 14 in a row. Nothing. How many of you would have lasted? How many would have lasted? 14 in a row. How many would have quit at 3? How many would have quit at 2? See, but here's the thing. I got madder and madder and madder with each time that I went and carried that damn machine out of the house. I got angrier and angrier. Why? The machine was the same. The machine I got wasn't defective. The machine I got was the same as everybody else's machine. The presentation was the same, pretty much. We got a book. We read out of it. The compensation plan was the same. How I got paid was the same as everybody else, except I got 0, and they got money. And I'd go to those sales meetings, and they would get their checks and come across the stage. Here's, $1,000 for you, and $5,000 for you, and whatever, based on the sales that week, and I got nothing. All these were constants. The machine was a constant. The presentation was a constant. The compensation plan was a constant. There was one variable. What was it? And I was okay with owning that, because you gotta own that. You can't look at other people having success on the same machine or the same opportunity. Other people are doing it, you're not doing it, and think the product's a problem, or the company's a problem, or the opportunity's a problem. It was me, and I'm okay going, it's me. But I'm not, look, those people aren't better than me. Not that I think I'm better than them, but they're not better than me. They're doing something certainly that I'm not doing. And I went to a training meeting and I saw something, I don't even remember what it is anymore, but I saw something, I went, I'm not doing that. And I started doing that. And I sold my next 8-in-a-row. But I was willing to stick with it because I knew that it was me. It wasn't the product. It wasn't anything other than me. And you have to understand that. You have to take ownership and responsibility for where you may not be succeeding when everybody around you or other people around you are succeeding. That's okay. We have to fix and refine and tweak our presentations and figure out what it is that we are not doing that other people are doing, or maybe something that we are doing that other people are not doing that's causing them to have more success than us. You gotta have that commitment though. You have to have that commitment first to yourself, not to your sponsor, not to me, not to David Brown, not to your spouse, not to your kids. It's okay to have commitment to them, but the most important commitment is to yourself. Because you should never ever let yourself down. How can you possibly look at yourself in the mirror if you let yourself down? Commitment, the definition of commitment is doing the thing that you said you would do long after the feeling that you said it in has left you. It's easy to come to an event like this and get caught up with 1,000 people all moving in the same direction, right? All the Clydesdales are pulling the Budweiser truck in the same direction. It's easy to get caught up, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And then you go home and you fall into that old groove with those negative people, negative influences. Commitment, doing the thing that you said you would do long after the feeling that you said it in has left you. This is big stuff. If you get this part, everything else happens all by itself. It's not hard to talk to people. I'm assuming you've done it a couple of times. The fact that you're clothed right now, you talk to somebody. It's not hard. But you gotta get the 6 inches between the ears right. And when that's right, everything changes. And I'm not just talking about YEVO. Everything in your entire life changes when the 6 inches between your ears gets right. Some of you might think that there are sacrifices involved in becoming successful. Maybe. But they're not really sacrifices if the end result, if the end game is worth it. Not really sacrifices. You might miss some stuff. I've missed some stuff. You might miss birthday parties. I've missed them. You might miss friends saying, hey, let's go to this movie. You might miss a wedding. But the end result of this work and this dedication, this commitment, for me anyway, is worth it, because then you can go to everything. It's short-term sacrifice for long-term freedom. Sales is nothing more than the transference of belief. For those people that struggle with the word sales, some of you, your toes curl. Anytime somebody says the word sales, you're like, oh, sales. Sales, get over it. Sales is nothing more than the transference of belief. That's all it is. We've been selling our entire lives. Us guys, we've been selling the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip and the lifelike hair. You ladies were selling the Barbies. Later on it was the Easy Bake Ovens. Got into Schwinn bikes, Ford Mustangs, Chevy Camaros. Sales is just a transference of belief. Movies, restaurants, you believe something strongly about whatever it is, a product, a place, an opportunity, an ideology. You believe so strongly that you're willing to go and talk to people and transfer that belief that you have into them, that causes them to go and make a decision. That's sales. Some of you men go, I don't want this whole sales thing, I'm not a sales guy. Now I gotta tell you, I'm looking at your wives, by the look of them, you're a lot better salesperson than you think you are. And ladies, you are way, way better at this than we are. You have to understand that. You are way better at network marketing than we are. Why else do all of the network marketing companies, barring the ones that are designed for women, primarily like the Avons and the Mary Kays and the Arbons, okay, but every other network marketing company, the percentage of female distributors is 70%. 70% women. Aren't you better at this than we are? Are you? Because look, you guys will talk to anybody about anything. We have to posture. Men have to look cool. Right? If we feel like we're not gonna look cool, we're not gonna say it. Women don't really care. It's about the emotion thing, it's not about the posture thing. You're the nurturing of the two sexes. You want to heal the world. That's a great thing. That's a great thing. That makes you better at this than we are. Men just need to know the product's good enough that it's not going to kill somebody. If there's money involved, we're in. So ladies, you're better at this. Anthropologically speaking, you're better at this. I was like, anthropologically. That was a 6-syllable word I just read here. What is that, a hexasyllable? You're better at this. Here comes an inconsistency. Are you ready for this inequity? 70% of the constituents of any network marketing company are female, yet what is the percentage of women on stage doing what I'm doing right now? Anybody want to guess?
Ken.
Maybe 20%. Are you okay with that? Because I'm not okay with that. But here's the problem. You guys, for whatever reason, you're better at this, but you haven't owned it. Own it. I don't know why you haven't owned it. I don't know what voices you hear in your head that says I can't own it. Maybe some of you think, well, it's a man's world and I probably shouldn't speak up. Own it, freaking own it. Can you own it? Yeah. We should see, look, we're young, we're just born. We should see in 6 months' time from now, a year maximum, at least 50% of the presenters from stage should be women. Are you with me? Aren't you tired of hearing from us anyway? Own it. Let's go, ladies. Own it. If you're a woman and you have a message and you're not afraid to proclaim it and you think it's going to help your fellow women and men, I want to know who you are. Come up and tell me who you are. But understand this, words are cheap. You got to earn it, just like everybody else. You got to own it, and you got to earn it. You're either building your dream or you're building somebody else's dream. That's another one that hit me square between the eyes. You're either building your dream or you're building somebody else's dream. Whose dream are you building? If you're an employee, and I honor and respect the fact that you got to do whatever you got to do to keep a roof over your head and food on the table, YEVO, food. But you're building somebody else's dream. Entrepreneurs build their own dream. If you're somebody that has to sit in front of the TV all day on Sunday and watch every NFL game from the first one at 10 a.m. here on the West Coast to whatever, 10 o'clock at night, whose dream are you building? Yours? Let me tell you whose dream you're building. The NFL, Budweiser, they love your eyeballs on the commercials. But at the end of the day, when those scorecards get passed in, is your life any better? You're either building your dream or you're building somebody else's dream. Whose dream are you building? Try this one out for size. Unplug your TV for 30 days. Ooh. Did he just say that, really? Unplug it. Don't turn it off, because that on button's too easy to just do that. Unplug it. 30 days. See what happens to your family, because some of you got a TV in every room for each kid. And you're completely plugged in. Unplug the TV and see what happens. See if Chutes and Ladders doesn't break out. Candyland doesn't find its way back onto the kitchen table. Okay? See how much connectivity you have with your neighbors. See how much work you get done. Because some of you go, it's tough for me to build this business because I'm busy. And you don't realize that busy for you is 4 hours of TV a day. Come on. Let's get honest. Unplug that sucker for 30 days. Let me know how that works out for you. You got to stay current on your craft. One of the things that's going to keep you centered here, because again, you get this message, it makes good sense. Does it make good sense? 5 of you?
Yes.
25 of you?
Yes.
It makes good sense, but the further you get away from it, the more you lose of it. You know the saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder? Do you know it? Whoever made up that saying, they were not a network marketer. Absence does not make the heart grow fonder in network marketing. Absence makes for absenteeism. That's what absence makes. The more you miss us, the more you will miss us. The more you're away from us, the more you'll become, and pretty soon you'll just be like that, the guy that goes for the spacewalk outside of the shuttle, and the tether just gets longer and longer and longer until snap, and you just go tumbling out into space. You're gone. You're gone. You've got to stay connected to this messaging. It is all around you. It's coming from YEVO corporate. It's coming from your upline. It's coming from your sidelines. It's coming from your downline. It's coming from everybody. Stay plugged into it. Why do we go to church? I'm the wrong person to ask this. Why do we go to church every week? Why? Because next week isn't going to be any better than last. It's tough out there. Right? You need that checkup from the neck up. Stay plugged in to your craft. How can we do that? Meetings. 2 home meetings a week. This is the platinum mindset. This is not the silver mindset. 2 home meetings a week, either in your house or you're supporting somebody else's. And a home meeting, if it goes more than, if the actual structured home meeting goes for more than 30 minutes, you are off track. The structured part, you got the pre-meeting, you got the meeting, you got the post-meeting where people are hanging out, which is really the meeting. But if the structured part of your meeting is more than 30 minutes, you're off track. You think it's about you, and it's not about you. It's about the guest. But you got to do 2 meetings a week, 2 home meetings a week. Once you start gathering enough people within your community, in your city, you want to start gathering for a hotel meeting. And those hotel meetings can happen once a month. They can happen twice a month. These are bigger opportunities where everybody's plugging in together. You want to do a Saturday morning training, about an hour-long training of getting started fast training for all the people that enrolled into your organization in the preceding week. If it goes more than an hour, you're off track. It's about getting people together. It's about feeling the camaraderie. It's about relationships, connecting people. You could do the same training on the phone. Does it have the same effect? Does it? No. That's why we do this. Technically, we could have done this on a webinar or something. We could have streamed this into your homes. Would it have had the same effect? Nope. This is a relationship business. Conference calls. I do a Sunday night team training opportunity call. Who's on it? Liars, because I see the numbers. Everybody raise their hand. I don't have 1,000 people on that Sunday night call. I don't. The bridge has the capacity to handle 5,000. I don't have 1,000. Sunday night, now I understand that for some of you there's reasons, there's religious beliefs why Sunday doesn't work for you. That's fine. Guess what? We record them. You can listen to it Monday, but you don't. Some do, most don't. But that's another way to stay plugged in to the mothership. YEVOtools.com. Who knows about YEVOtools.com? Any of you? Who doesn't know about YEVO? That's the first time you've heard of YEVOtools.com. That's a third-party market. That's Sound Concepts. There's a third-party marketing company that has a bunch of tools for you. Some of it, and it's building because we're young, but some of it is YEVO specific, and lots of it is network marketing generic. Very valuable stuff. Very valuable. You should be using your drive time to and from work, to and from picking up the kids from school, to and from soccer practice. You should be using your car as a rolling university and listen to these DVDs. Don't listen to a DVD. Listen to these CDs in your car. Okay, turn off talk radio. I find myself yelling at the radio anyway. Drives me crazy. Turn off talk radio. Turn off, the classic rock. Turn off country music. You shouldn't be listening to that stuff anyway. And listen to stuff that's positive. Listen to stuff that's going to help you in your mindset. Listen to stuff that's going to remind you about these principles that you need to practice every single day to help you. At the end of the day, really, what we're talking about here is your self-image. How do you see yourselves? How do you want to be remembered? What do you want people to say about you when you're gone? Do you want people to go, man, that gal, she made a huge impact on this planet while she was here, and man, I'm gonna miss her. Or do you want your name just to maybe appear in a newspaper in the obituary section? Nobody really notices. How do you want to be remembered? What does this period of time mean to you? These motivational speakers will want to tell you that you are not a milk carton. You don't have an expiration date. That's crap. We're all milk cartons. Just because you can't read that expiration date doesn't mean it's not stamped somewhere on you. It is. What are you going to do? How do you want to be remembered? Peter Castleman is doing this because he wants to be remembered for something more than the things that he's done. Has he done some big things in his life so far? Oh yeah. But it's not, it pales by comparison to what he wants to be remembered for doing here at YEVO International. He doesn't have to do this. This is not a financial play for him. It's bigger than that. It needs to be bigger than that for you. It has to be, to carry you through. Getting that money can be anticlimactic. It's cool for a while, it is. But after that, it can be a little anticlimactic. The reason for doing what you're doing on a day-to-day basis has to be bigger than that. How do you see yourself? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? What do you want other people to see? My self-image is too important to just coast through life. It's just too important to me to just become to be mediocre. Who wants, mediocrity is filled with a bunch of people. It's no fun. Come up top where there's lots of room to move and air to breathe. That's where you belong. You came here this weekend for that opportunity, did you not?
Yes.
It breaks my heart, statistically speaking, it breaks my heart to know that some of you won't be here 6 months from now. Because we're all rainbow vacuum cleaner salesmen together right now. We all have that same opportunity. The exact same opportunity. For some of you, to see this many Mexican distributors where we're not even open yet, and to see this many Japanese distributors where we're not even open yet, and to see this many Korean distributors where we're not even open yet, cross the stage, should scare the essential nutrients out of you. You should have little 43s running down your leg right now. Wake up. It's time. But I promise you this, if you take these ideals, these practices, these philosophies that I bestowed upon you today, the very ones that I adopted over the last 23 years, and you live them every single day, not just Wednesdays, not just Tuesdays and Fridays, but you live them every single day. You're reminded of them every single day. And you live up to these expectations, not the expectations of your children, and not the expectations of your spouse, and not the expectations of me or anybody else here at YEVO, but your own expectations of your own self-image. If you do that, I promise you, you'll go across the stage one day as a platinum. Thank you so much for your time.